finally it's the first snowfall of this winter, and as you can see the whole city is just freezing with cold, and the temperature is like -2 or -3, but this is just the start and a whole lot has to come. But from my side, don't expect that the tech videos will ever stop now, because I will create videos if even I have to come in snow or rain or anything, and also expect a lot of beautiful photographs too on Instagram. Well, coming towards the topic of today's video, I was just clicking photos from my iPhone of the sceneries of this city, because today it was the first snowfall in this city of this winter, and I thought why not I compare the cameras of my new iPad with the iPhone's camera to check whether the 2016 iPhone can beat the 2019 iPad, and to check has Apple really put a very nice camera setup in this iPad that it can beat an older iPhone also. So that thing forced me to click photographs in the cold, and even now my hands are just freezing, literally freezing while holding the tripod. And I hope this video will be liked by you all, because I compared my iPad not just with the iPhone 7 Plus but also with the iPhone XR to check how much difference does the photos create between iPhone 7 Plus, iPhone XR and the new iPad 7th generation. Now I am very excited, so just roll the intro and get it started. But before we proceed further, you make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon. Ooh, it's just the first day of the winter, and I don't know how will I survive the remaining 3-4 months here. I don't know really. But for now, let's check the camera specs of all these three devices before going to check the photographs. Starting with the iPad is having a 8 megapixel rear camera setup with f2.4 aperture, and it can also shoot videos at 1080p at 30 frames per second. On the front side of the iPad, it's having a 1.2 megapixel front camera with f2.2 aperture, and it can also shoot videos at 720p at 30 frames per second. Now, for the 7 Plus, the iPhone 7 Plus is having a dual rear camera setup with one 12 megapixel f1.8 wide angle lens and one 12 megapixel f2.8 aperture telephoto lens, and it's also having 2x optical zoom. The iPhone 7 Plus can shoot videos of up to 4K at 30 frames per second. On the front of the iPhone 7 Plus, it's having a 7 megapixel front camera with f2.2 aperture, and it can also shoot videos of up to 1080p at 30 frames per second. Now, moving towards the iPhone XR, it's having the 12 megapixel single rear camera setup with f1.8 aperture, and it also shoot wide angle photos. For the video, it can shoot of up to 4K video at 60 frames per second. On the front end of the iPhone XR, it's having a 7 megapixel camera with f2.2 aperture, and it can also shoot videos of up to 1080p at 60 frames per second. So these are the camera specs of all these three devices, and now I'll show you all the camera samples and compare them, and I'll give my judgment which device is better and which device clicks better photographs, and does the iPad outperforms any of these iPhones. Let's check the camera shots to find out more. Now, as you can see, the iPhone XR photo looks way more natural than the other two. Look at the building marked. You can clearly see the difference in the picture quality of these three. On the next picture, the iPhone 7 Plus image is on a darker side, but still, I will say the XR image is more natural with good dynamic range and better color accuracy. The iPad would have beaten the iPhone 7 Plus on this one, but once again the background area comes to play and saves the iPhone 7 Plus. Now, on the next one, this is really tough between iPhone 7 Plus and the iPad, because the XR clearly seems way ahead of these two. The foreground and background of 7 Plus and the iPad image both gives the same look, so a tie among two is not a bad option to say. Now, in this one, I must praise the 10R again because it's really giving smooth and way better color tones. The iPhone 7 Plus image is also not very bad and thus takes the second spot. Now, in this image also, the iPhone 7 Plus has a darker image produced than the two, but the iPhone 10R again tops, but only in the background noise in the iPad photo ranks it below the iPhone 7 Plus. In this one only, the 10R is able to keep a proper background, rest of the two blown away all the back things, but between the iPad and the iPhone 7 Plus, things look a tie here. Now for the last photo, you all can see the sharpness of the iPhone 10R again coming to play in the indoor conditions and the iPad really struggling at some points with the iPhone 7 Plus still standing on the second spot. So guys, these are all the camera samples and my opinions which camera I like the most. As expected, the iPhone 10R tops the camera comparison here, and I really believe iPhone 10R has a pretty good set of, not set, but a pretty good single camera setup. The iPhone 7 Plus also remains on the second position, but don't forget the iPad gave a very tough competition to the iPhone 7 Plus, and I really have to admire Apple for giving such good cameras in an iPad, because in tablets generally companies don't provide very good set of cameras because the cameras are always a weak point in tablets. But kudos to Apple because they have provided a very good camera setup in a budget iPad also. Now, what are your thoughts and which of these photos you all like? You can also tell me in the comment section below, and I would love to hear your comments. And I really hope you like this video because it took me a lot of bravery to shoot this video, because you can see my hands, these are going to froze. Anyways, if you like my work and would want to support me, then do subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon to show your love and support. And I will try my best always to create quality tech content for you and to deliver the tech content in time also for you, despite of this bad weather. Anyways, for now, that's it for today's video, and goodbye guys, and I will see you all in the next one. Oh, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram to check more cool photos of this city, because the winters are coming, and as you know, the winters and snowfall always produce some great photos. So do follow me on Instagram to check more behind the scenes shots also and photographs too. So goodbye guys.